It's Dirty Story Night! Nickelodeon Month continues. This week we have Sarah McCockring Goes Blue. Yeah, I think that's a pen name. I don't think her name really is Sarah McCockring. I'm not sure though. You'll have to find out. Please check out our parent network, IABD Presents.com, which is Installment Numbers Ends. We've got podcast, written word, and video series all produced and made right here in Central Ohio, or at least has a strong connection to the city. One of the series we have on there is It's All Been Written, an annual short story competition. We're releasing the winners for Season 2 right now, so you can check out those stories for free. You can buy Season 1, the collection. You can also purchase a Little Star, an audiobook dramatization of our winner from the first year. It's really cool, guys. We have some awesome winners for year 2 as well, and they're free at the moment. They won't be forever. So head on over to IABDpresents.com, check those out, maybe even consider entering for year 3 next year. Rules will be out probably around the end of the year. And also, please support us at patreon.com/IABD. You donate $10 or more a month, you're going to get a free copy of The Little Star, as well as all kinds of other cool crap. Or you can just donate $1 or $2, and that will still really help us, and then we can make more programming for you. Follow us on social media at IABD Presents, and enjoy Dirty Story Night.
I have 2 stories because I'm cheating. So the first one is very short. So the first story is Amanda Bynes stuck Stick Stickly in her pussy. The end. My second story is called In the Arms of the Angel. A curiously colored canine sat at Steve's feet, confused by what she was smelling. Her owner was standing at the stove, gently sautéing a pair of dirty socks. "Oh no," said an anthropomorphic salt shaker with a French accent. "It seems there is something wrong with Steve." "Ah, dear me," said a likewise anthropomorphic pepper shaker with a French accent. "He seems to be lightly frying his laundry in butter." "Well, that certainly is not normal behavior." "Oh, merde," muttered the pepper shaker. "What is it, Mrs. Pepper?" replied the salt. "The children, they have arrived." And they had, although no one would ever actually see them. Steve turned around to face the invisible children, his pupils dilated, and his striped shirt and khaki pants wrinkled as though he had been sleeping in them. "I was just making a snack, but I guess that can wait until later." He turned off the stove. "There's something Blue really wants us to do together." He leaned in towards the invisible children. "Do you think there's a way we can figure out what Blue wants to do together?" Blue placed her paw against an also apparently invisible window in the middle of the room, leaving a blue paw print when she pulled it away. "Blue's Clues! That's a great idea!" exclaimed Steve. "We can play Blue's Clues to figure out what Blue wants us to do together. But first, we should probably wipe this paw print off. Do you see anything we could use to wipe off the paw print?" "Oh, right!" Steve grabbed a sock from the frying pan and wiped away the print, leaving a greasy smudge on the otherwise invisible window. "Great," said Steve. "Now, we are gonna play Blue's Clues. We are gonna play Blue's Clues. We are gonna play Blue's Clues, 'cause it's a really great game." But if we're gonna play Blue's Clues, we need something to write down the clues in. "Notebook!" shouted an invisible child. "That's right! We need a handy-dandy notebook," Steve stated, pulling out a notebook and crayon from the drawer in the table next to the couch, who stayed quiet but eyed Steve suspiciously. "Now we just need to find our first clue." The dog barked and bounded out of the room. "I think Blue wants us to follow her. She's gone to the bedroom. Come on," Steve beckoned to the children. When Steve arrived in the bedroom, he completely failed to notice a conspicuously placed large blue paw print in the middle of the bed. "A clue! A clue!" called the invisible children. "What's that?" asked Steve. "You see a clue?" He turned and slowly surveyed the bedroom, failing still to see the quite obvious paw print. "The bed!" the children chimed. "The bed? Oh, the bed! It's our first clue!" Steve pulled out his notebook and crayon from his pocket and drew the bed. Now what could Blue want us to do together with the bed? Do you think she wants us to... Do you think she wants us to take a nap? No, it's not nap time. You're right. We need to find another clue. Blue barked and leapt from the floor to a framed picture that was hanging on the wall. Steve put the notebook back into his pocket. Blue skidoo, we can too, sang Steve, leaping into the painting after his pet. Steve landed from his jump and found himself in an art museum. Blue had already taken off, running down a corridor. Well, I guess she knows where she's going. Come on, said Steve, chasing after her. When Blue stopped, he found himself in a room surrounded by statues. Hey, look, said Steve, pointing to a statue. That one's short of a couple limbs. That was short of a couple limbs. This one doesn't have any arms. A clue, pronounced a still unseen child. What? You see a clue? Where? Asked Steve. Behind you! Steve turned and found himself facing Michelangelo's David in all his splendor. There, placed precisely on the Renaissance sculpture's marble penis, was a blue paw print. A penis, said Steve, retrieving the notebook from his pocket. So we draw 2 beanbags, 2 lines for the shaft, a little mushroom cap, and a little bush on top. Steve mumbled while he drew, and we have a penis. So what could Blue want to do together with a bed and a penis? I guess we'll have to find that last clue. And with that, Blue skidooed back out of the picture into their house. Steve followed, and they were greeted by a cheerful harmony from the front lawn. Mail time, mail time, mail time, mail time. Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. Wait a minute, kids. What day is it? Steve addressed his invisible underage audience again as the mailbox peeked its head and or whole body through the window. I think it's October, Steve, said the mailbox. Steve gasped with excitement. It's Nudie Magazine Day! Nudie Magazine Day! Nudie Magazine Day! Chanted a chorus of invisible children. And what is the magazine today, mailbox? Steve inquired. It looks like we've got interspecies orgasms. Looks like furries mostly, Steve. Steve slyly reached a hand out to retrieve the magazine and placed it behind him on the coffee table. I'll have to look at that one later. A clue! The children piped up again. You see a clue? Where? On the coffee table! Lo and behold, Blue had placed a paw print on an image of a man doing something unmentionable to someone dressed as a dog.
Face fucking!
Steve drew a crude representation of it in his notebook. Then he situated himself in his cushy orange chair. All right, that's the last clue. Now we sit down in the thinking chair to think. Oh, said Steve, flipping through the images in his notebook. He could feel his cock starting to stiffen. I think Blue is saying that she wants to be more than friends. Blue jumped into Steve's lap, and Steve unzipped his khakis. Quickly, finding himself balls deep in her tight little pooch pussy. Blue howled in pain. Steve was slowly coming down from the acid that he had ingested a few hours earlier, but he still perceived her howls of pain as moans of pleasure. There was an aggressive knock on the door. Steve, this is the police and the Humane Society. We received a frantic phone call from an overly distraught pepper shaker with a report of someone doing terrible things to a dog. Steve, if you don't open this door right now, we're going to kick it in. 1, 2, 3. They kicked in the door and forcibly removed Steve's dick from his dog and cuffed him, throwing him in the back of a cop car, with Steve protesting that she was asking for it. One police officer nudged the other and says, somebody's gonna have blue balls. Dude, this is serious, says the other officer, shaking his head. Before the Humane Society takes Blue away, she sadly raises her paw to leave one last paw print that says, #MeToo.